Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski, and I help coaches, mentors, speakers, and trainers make so much money in their business that they can impact more people with the cash flow that comes in. And listen, I'm the guy that helps you get rich and wealthy as a coach, and that's what we're going to be talking about, is why making a ton of money is a good thing and shifting your perspective out of a poverty mindset. I did a couple of events this week, and I was shocked by the feedback that I got from quite a few people that they thought the concept of making a ton of money was bad and evil and not a good thing for them. And to be honest, if that's you, if you think about that, I hope that maybe you might be encouraged to listen to something from a different perspective. But honestly, I have a feeling that there's sort of a dividing line in our culture between people, between capitalism, around how can we make as much money as possible and then use that money to grow, reach more people, create better things, impact people better as well, or the side of let's make no money, but let's just make really good content and let's hope that the content drives itself and goes viral. And so what I'm finding is that in my audience, in my niche, that there's a dividing line in that, and that the people that actually work with me understand that making money is a very important part of it. And I kind of avoided this for a little while, mainly because I didn't want to offend people, and I was really like trying to honor everybody and stuff like that. Now I'm at the point where I'm just like, if you don't want to make a ton of money, or you're not at least willing to start thinking in that direction of making a ton of money, you're probably not going to resonate with me at all. And so let's talk about why it's a good thing to make a ton of money. I believe that it allows you to have far more impact. I can hire people very easily when I'm making $500,000 a year plus in my business. I can run advertising campaigns without worrying about how are we going to pay this budget. We just ran a $10,000 ad campaign, and by the way, it might not produce the results I was hoping for. I took a risk with the offer and the copy. I tested out something that I wasn't sure how it was going to convert, and it so far isn't converting how I thought. But because we have cash flow in our business, it's not going to bankrupt us because of it. I'm just going to go do another campaign, pay back the rest of the ad spend, and we're good. And so by having cash flow, I can test, I can experiment, and I can reach our goals. The clients that we work with make millions of dollars in their businesses. We work with clients that are beginners as well, that are starting from zero. And we have clients that we've helped start from zero to make millions of dollars in their businesses. The methods that we teach work. They're not on trial, but they focus on a revenue-first approach, okay? We care about impacting people. We care about delivering the highest quality value and service. The reason why we can actually deliver the highest quality value products and services is because of the cash flow that comes in. The only reason why I'm able to make a free podcast like this every single week and provide value to you is because we bring in cash flow through the other avenues in our business, okay? And so you have to make the supreme priority in your business as a coach be sales and marketing and bringing in revenue and cash flow so that you can then fund the dream of the stuff that you want to do in your business. If you're not focused on that, you're going to get way too caught up in the weeds of doing everything perfect because you're not trying to bring in the revenue. And unfortunately, there's all these quote graphics and things out there like, don't focus on the money, just focus on the process, things like that. Again, I believe in that. I believe in the money will follow by focusing on the process, but you can't make the money be a non-issue. You have to be able to pay the bills, pay the ad spend. You have to think of it as a business owner. A business owner has a responsibility to be prudent with their finances and to increase the amount of finances that come in. And so for you to be able to reach your goals as a business owner, you need to think like a business owner, which is where cash flow is king. Not just cash is king, but cash flow. Having a flow of cash come in that if you have a losing month, it replaces itself next month without you having to work hard to do that. And this is the mindset that I want you to get into, is one of an entrepreneur, a capitalist entrepreneur that makes as much money as possible, as much as humanly possible, and does so for the purpose of impacting people, for the purpose of reaching more people with your message, so that you can increase the cash flow. And it becomes this wheel that feeds itself. And when you do it right, you don't have to wonder or struggle, is it going to work? Is it going to produce the amount of money that we need to make? Are these campaigns going to produce a result? You know, I'm excited. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be testing out some new campaigns. I'm really excited. Honestly, like I'm almost like vibrating so much with excitement around what we're going to be doing, because I know what's going to come out of it. I know what happened the last 6 months when we've done this. We've been in a test phase in our business for the last 6 months. In the last 7 months, we brought in over $600,000 in sales in our business just by testing. And so now my goal is, how can I 10x that to $6 million in our business in a year or two from now? And then $60 million in our business. And see, that's where I'm dreaming of. I'm thinking about $60 million, $100 million levels. You know, those of you that might know my mom, Sandy Krakowski, she's been in business for 30 years. And, you know, in the last year, she just increased her net worth by over $10 million in just the last year. And I've seen how she's done it. And I'm like, if my mom can do it, I can as well. And if my mom can do it, you can as well. And you want to know what? That's how you impact people's lives. That's how you set free, you know, victims of child trafficking. That's how you make a change in the world, is by having cash flow, is by having income. Entrepreneurs change and shape the world. We're looking at the world around us right now. The world is being shaped by entrepreneurs that decided to take risks. And I believe that the coaching industry, the mentoring industry, creating online courses, creating online trainings, is the best vehicle to generate startup capital for you as a business owner, for the purpose of then rolling into passive investments. What I would love to see you do is start to bring in $1 to $5 million a year. By the way, about $3 to $5 million is the easiest to maintain with the lowest amount of effort. Once you hit about $3 to $5 million a year, it'll actually run itself, and you only have to show up about 5 to 10 hours a week. Below $3 million a year, you got to work harder. Above $5 million a year, it also takes harder, but it's like this sweet spot, about $3 to $5 million a year. You can basically retire from the coaching business. It's really pretty cool. I saw like 3 other coaches post this the other week, and I was like, that's absolutely correct. And all the businesses that we built, we found right around that $3 to $5 million a year mark is the perfect sustainable level. And then when you pour that money into passive investments, it's able to then pay you dividends and increase your net worth through real estate, through stocks, through investing, through commercial property, through venture capital, through private equity. Okay? And so think bigger, have a bigger picture, have a bigger vision for where you're going in your life. Have a bigger vision for the future. See, in the last 200 episodes of this podcast, we've really ebbed and flowed with a lot of where beginners are at, and I'm about to take it to the next level with you. For me to go to the next level, I'm about to take y'all to the next level. And what that means is you need to have a vision that's bigger than just where you're at right now. And even if you're just starting out at zero, have a vision for at least a couple $100,000 a year minimum. You know, that's just a baseline middle class income right now in this economy in 2023. You might say, no, it's not. Absolutely it is. Look at the numbers economically of baseline middle class income accounted for by inflation, and $250,000 is actually considered middle class. An average home for a family of 3 to 4 people, it costs $500,000 now. Doesn't cost $250,000. Everything's double what it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The economy has shifted. After COVID, the whole world has shifted. And now the world is being driven by AI. AI first is the way that a lot of companies are thinking. And so we have to innovate. And we have to learn, how can we bring in as much cash flow as possible to have the kind of impact that we want to have. If you want to impact the world around you, you have to have cash flow to do so. Okay? And so I just want to encourage you and challenge you that if you just want to have impact, if you just want to make a little bit of money, shift your thinking, grow your thinking to be above just your current present situation, and realize that making more money than just what you need to pay your bills, making above and beyond just the basics, what do you do with that extra money? You invest it into, you can hire people to do the work for you. So now you can remove yourself from the business. You can pay for better systems. You can pay for advertising. And you can do so without stress. You can enjoy a more stress-free life. You hire out things in your household. You hire out things in your daily life. Okay? I have these people, they write me, they come to me. I had somebody write me the other day that's like, can you just stop talking about making so much money and just tell me how to teach people better? And I'm like, no, that's not me. I'm the money guy. I'm the guy that shows you how to get super rich as a coach, mentor, or speaker. And I'm leaning into that more and more, that I'm the money guy, that I'm the guy that you go to for financial increase in your coaching business. I'm not the one that you go to about, how do you be the world's best coach, best trainer. And while I can show you how to do that, I've actually really learned well how to coach, how to teach, how to mentor, how to speak well. I was a terrible public speaker a couple years ago. This podcast has helped me do that. The content on my social media. How did I get better at it? By actually just doing the work, by being consistent, by staying and sticking with the process. And then what we found is, what's the lane of people that we best impact? It's the coaches, mentors, and speakers and trainers that want to make $250,000 to $500,000 a year. So how do you get you to that level? What is that? That's just a $20,000 to $40,000 a month income. Very sustainable, very doable. My wife and I haven't earned less than that in years. And I can show you how to do that in our coaching programs, with this podcast, with our virtual events that we put on. But if you're somebody who's listening to this right now, you're just like, I just don't want to make a lot of money. I just want to teach my sessions. I just want to train people. Great, teach, train, do that. That's fine. I want to have acceptance for that. But I want to say that if you're in my space, some of this economic capitalism is going to rub off on you. And I think it should. And I think it's a good thing. And I think more of us need to start thinking from a perspective of how can we make more revenue and how can we use that money to impact more people. And I think that by doing so, the whole world's going to get a whole lot better. My goal and my mission is to create 1,000 millionaire coaches. Not 1,000 coaches that have a bunch of great ideas and courses and don't make any money. 1,000 millionaire coaches. That's going to start by creating over 1,000 six-figure earning coaches. I told this person who was tired of me talking about this. The lady was like, if I join your coaching program, will you stop talking about money? And I'm like, no. You probably shouldn't join my coaching program then if that's such a problem. It was such a stark example of like who I don't want in my coaching program and who is not a good fit, that it really stuck with me, and it actually inspired this podcast episode. You'd be surprised. Some of my episodes are inspired by just silly stuff that people say. So if you're a coach, if you're a mentor, if you're a trainer, if you're a speaker, start to expand your mind about making more money. Make it important for you. Stop thinking tiny. Stop thinking small. Stop thinking about little itty bitty amounts. It's possible for you. If it's possible for my mom to go from being a single mom living on $5,000 a year in a one-bedroom apartment with me when she was raising me, to being a multi-millionaire female business owner, entrepreneur, building an empire, changing her family line, impacting millions of lives around the world, by the way. It's not just about the money, it is about the impact. But money is a massive part. Every decision my mom makes in business Starts with, is this going to be profitable for us? That's it. Every decision that a good business owner makes starts with that question. Is this going to be profitable for us? When you start thinking in that perspective of profit first, your impact will actually greatly increase. You will be able to impact more people by being focused on making a massive amount of profit in your business. All right? And so listen, this podcast is called Grow Your Life. We might be renaming the podcast soon about being a wealthy coach, a wealthy mentor, a wealthy speaker. You know, speakers, mentors, and coaches are kind of our lane of people that we help. And we help them get really stinking wealthy doing so. And so, but for the time being, again, grow your life. It's about expanding your reach. It's about expanding what you can do, what you can accomplish. And cash flow is a big part of that. All right? Listen, share this with somebody who might be struggling with their thoughts about making money. Maybe they're a mentor. Maybe they're a speaker. Maybe they're wondering, what's the best path of growth? It's always cash flow. It's always revenue. Revenue always solves every single problem in your business because it allows you to actually hire out the problem solvers. I would rather hire somebody to solve my problem than try to solve it myself. And when you start thinking in that direction, and we stop making it all about us, and how can I prove that I'm smart, and how can I make people like me, and how can I make people approve of me, and we just go out there and we think of it from the standpoint of how can I bring in the most amount of profit in my business and impact people simultaneously, you'll be surprised how well things actually do for you. And when you follow the system that I teach, because I teach a whole system that works. I teach a system for coaches and mentors that brings in massive amounts of cash flow for them. When you apply that and you actually do the work, instead of getting stuck in your head, thinking about procrastinating, overthinking, which all of that's natural and normal. A lot of people do that. I struggle with that for years. It's, so don't beat yourself up over that. It's a normal thing to do. But when you shift into how can I start to take as much action as possible and how can I start to move the needle forward towards my goals, you will be shocked how well stuff works out for you by taking risk, by making it an experiment, by being willing to put yourself out there, no matter who judges you, no matter who thinks whatever they want to think about you, and you just show up consistently. The cash flow starts to follow and the impact grows exponentially. I'll tell you, as my income has grown, my impact has grown. My impact was stagnated when my income was also stagnated. So keep that in mind. In every business that I've grown, I've seen people impact millions of lives, and cash flow directly correlates to that. And it will for you as well. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon. Have a good one.